Okay, folks. I got a few articles here. I'm going to try to skim through one of them at first. This one is about the My Little Pony movie that Hasbro is working on. The key elements in here are basically, I'm just going to read them off. Uh, the My Little Pony movie, obviously from the pictures we're getting here, and obviously from what we're getting here, and through other, if I can get this here in a second, hold on. And through other details and news sources and all that. Apparently, the My Little Pony movie, from what I understand, from what I could tell, and I'm sure anybody else who probably has more information than I do could probably see, is going to be based on Friendship is Magic. Basically, My Little Pony, the 2017, I should say, the 2017 theatrical film will be based on Friendship is Magic. So you can assume it's going to go in that direction. Now, it says here, and you can see right in bold print there, that it will join Gem and the Holograms as the first to be produced through AllSpark Pictures. Now, AllSpark Pictures, from what the article says, and we'll get to that in a second here, put that over here, is a new label that the company will, through the company, which will allow Hasbro to self-finance or pair up with other companies to co-finance a slate of film projects. Now, it says at the beginning here that the studio has given the green light to the movie for My Little Pony, with plans to release the animated film in 2017. Now, it goes on to mention that Jason Blum's Blumhouse Productions is already co-producing, or currently co-producing, or has co-produced the live-action Gem film with Universal Pictures, co-financing the movie's budget. It says the studio has dated the film for release on October 23rd of this year. But here's the good news for any My Little Pony fans. It says Hasbro will take the reins of My Little Pony, producing and financing it in-house. It is in discussion with studios to release the film on the broadest possible number of screens, said President Stephen Davis of Hasbro Studios and Global Entertainment and Licensing for Hasbro Incorporated. He also says, and I quote, "We're very excited about the potential of that movie." Now, here's what gets interesting as far as who's writing the script, who's penning the script. Joe Barlini, who previously wrote Atlantis 7 for Walden Media, 21 Laps, and Gotham's Group's Lockdown at Franklin High for Sony, and was recently tapped to adapt the graphic novel Cardboard for Fox Animation, will pen the script for the Pony Pick, while Megan McCarthy, who produces and has written for the series My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and straight-to-home video My Little Pony Equestria Girls movies, will serve as co-executive producer on the theatrical movie. Barlini is represented or repped by Palladium and Apostle. Now, it goes on to talk about the history of when the franchise was first introduced, which was 1983, and by who developed them, and what they're about and everything. It also says it has launched 4 animated series and has been revamped over the years, enjoying strong sales in the 80s and then again in 2010, with its popularity driven by well-received shows. It goes on to talk about the Gem movie, which is a musical fantasy that reimagines Gem amid the current hyperlinked social media era in a story of a small-town girl going from underground video sensation to global superstar with her 3 sisters. It talks about who's directing the film, who wrote the film, and of course who stars in the film as the lead character of Jim and the holograms, um, Rio, and possibly other characters as well. I think the Misfits and Eric, and you get the idea. I don't want to talk too much because I don't want to run out of time. I have a 15-minute time limit here. It says Hasbro. It also talks about Hasbro had partnered with Blumhouse before on the game board, on the movie that's based on the very infamous game board, if you will, that came out last year, which is now on Blu-ray and DVD. But it also states that Hasbro has no plans to turn its back on big budget franchises. It says they will continue to make it says they will continue to make big tentpole movies with our studio partners, like Transformers and G.I. Joe, and Monopoly and Candyland at Sony. But Stephen Davis states that there is another set of movies where they feel they have an opportunity to have a bit more control over the budgeting, financing, calendarization, marketing, and creativity and creative of our films. There are new economic models that fit certain films. Okay, and the last page, he says, with My Little Pony, Hasbro has already, it says, with My Little Pony, Hasbro already has produced direct-to-home video animated movies, 2 of them, is, or, as I read this, has produced the 100th episode of the franchise's current TV series that plays on the kids' cable channel Discovery Family, formerly The Hub, in the U.S., and in over 180 countries worldwide. He closes this out by saying, we have a lot of experience, and this is Stephen Davis saying this, we have a lot of experience working on this particular brand, and when it comes to producing the animation, technology has brought down costs to a level where it doesn't need to spend $100 million or more to make the film. Hasbro declined to disclose the budget for the Pony pick. It says film and TV is a key driver and very important film and TV is a key driver and very important part of the building blocks for a company like Hasbro, Stephen Davis said. It is where we want to use great stories to activate our brands. Okay, so if you want a link to this article, I will provide it so you guys can check it out yourselves. But basically, what that tells me is Hasbro has probably heard what the fans have said about Transformers, maybe have said things about G.I. Joe, things like that, and have pretty much heard what the fans have said and said, you know what, enough's enough, we're going to take control here, we're going to do things our way, we're going to have some say, we're going to have a little bit more say on our properties than we used to. And I think that's what they want to do with Gem. I think that's what they're sort of doing with Gem a little bit, even though Universal Studios is co-financing most of the budget, and what they're going to mostly do with My Little Pony. And this also tells me, just by the picture they used, Variety used for this article, and the pony that they used in the next article I'll read about in the next video, basically it sounds like to me, it looks like and sounds like to me that the Pony movie, the My Little Pony movie in 2017 is going to be based on Friendship is Magic. It's going to be based in the world of Friendship is Magic. Now, the only question is exactly what is the story going to be about? What direction are they going to take the franchise, the characters, and all that with this movie? Well, if this movie is based on Friendship is Magic, which obviously a lot of the articles, which obviously these 2 articles, and I'm pretty sure more, have hinted at, and obviously have pointed the direction at it being. I look at it this way: the series, I should say, has done a lot, has reimagined certain characters, reimagined certain settings and things. So the next step, obviously, to me, and I know some fans might sour on this, but I think the next step is to introduce or reintroduce for longtime fans, but introduce for the newer fans a rebooted, reimagined version of Megan and her siblings. That's what I think they need to do. I think that's the next step, and whether or not that's going to be pinned in and written in as part of the script for the movie, or whether or not that takes place in the season before the movie or afterwards, we'll have to wait and see. But I think that's what they need to do. I think that's obviously got to be the next step. And if that's a possibility for the movie, because it's Joe Barlini, he might look at this and say, what? I mean, he's probably going to work. He's probably going to ask a lot of questions with Megan McCarthy. Is going to ask, okay, what have you guys not done, and probably want to implement that into the film, or at least implement that into the series that leads into the season that leads into the film. I think that's what needs to be done. I also look at it like this. I think another thing that needs to be done with the film, or I think they need to consider as a possibility, is whether or not this is going to be the film that finishes off the series. Is the series going to continue, or is it going to end here? Because sometimes we've seen that, an animated series, when it gets a theatrical movie at times, that theatrical movie or that direct-to-video movie or that made-for-television movie is usually the finale to the series, or the finale to that portion of the franchise. So the only question now is that what this movie will be? Will it be the end of the road for Friendship is Magic and get us ready for that next incarnation? Will it be that, or will it just be one of those movies that after it comes out in theaters, then suddenly everything that happened in the movie continues on in the next season of the series? Sort of like old school Hasbro, with Transformers and even My Little Pony Generation 1, everything we saw in the theatrical films was continued on into the series. So that makes you wonder, if maybe that's what they're going to do or not. Another question is, are they going to finally, if you're a Spike Rarity fan and shipper, are they finally going to officially put Spike and Rarity together? Are they going to, do that? Are they going to do that before the movie happens, in a season before the movie happens? Are they going to do that in the movie? That's something else you got to look at as well. We're going to get introduced to a new pony character, that might take the place of another one. Will we see one of the main six, if you will, leave the bunch and get replaced by a new character? Will we see three leave and maybe get replaced by the Cutie Mark Crusaders and maybe have them aged up a little bit to where they're officially on the same level as, let's say, the main six? Who knows? These are questions and options that I think, Joe Barlini and Megan McCarthy and anybody else working on the movie has to weigh in as to exactly what they want to do. And these are just ideas and options I think they're thinking about. Again, I'm pretty sure Joe Barlini has been talking with Megan, been talking with Lauren, and trying to figure out exactly what they already have done and what they have yet to do. And I think some of these ideas that I've popped up or have talked about, these options here, are probably some of the ideas that they've discussed as well. A lot of other things. Will Twilight officially, will Twilight officially succeed and become the new overall Princess Siestral or whatever? Will she end up taking Siestral's place and, being that mega princess? We don't know. So, but to me, I'm happy that Hasbro has taken the reins on this, because it will basically keep it true to what it is. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'll provide the link in the description. And we'll just see what happens. See you in the next video.